All right, followers, in this video, we're going to give you 5 keys to being a better follower for West Coast swing. My name is
Brian B.
And this is Miss Megan. Here's how we did this. I gave Megan a piece of paper. I said, you write down your 5 keys, and I'll write down my 5 keys, and we'll see what comes out of it. So the first 2 things we agreed with, Megan expanded on some others, and I added some of my own. So the first thing we agree with is to know your own
footwork.
So you have to, as the follower, know your own footwork. If you didn't ever learn a whip, it doesn't matter how good you follow a whip, you wouldn't know, or if you didn't know an inside turn, we're going to talk about turns later, it wouldn't matter. So you have to know, at the very least, your push, pass, whip, footwork, preferably all your basics. We have a great way for you to practice that on your own. It's a West Coast Swing practice line dance. We did it here. There's a teach. It does it to music. Covers leaders and followers footwork. It's awesome. So number 1, know your own footwork. Number 2, Megan says all the time to
connect.
So let's talk about connection. Megan, we'll go on this side. What do you mean? 3 types of connection.
3 types of connection. There's away connection, which is, for right now, we're going to use our hands. So you're going to want to make sure that your elbows are down for both of you and that you are taking your center away from your partner.
And so Megan often talks about this, not only you connecting to your own hand, but to your own,
yes.
How do you say it?
You want to make sure that you're connecting to your own body. It does not mean that your arm has to be cemented to yourself.
Cemented.
I don't know.
Cemented to yourself.
Anyway, but you do need to use some little muscles in here to connect to yourself, because if you're led in a turn or anything like that, you need to make sure that you can follow and your body follows along with your partner.
So that's connection number 1.
Connection number 1 is away. Then you have connection towards your partner, which is actually a lot easier in my opinion, but people don't like to do it.
And then we have a third one, which is rotational, which is, that'd be if I rotated myself, I'd be connecting to Megan rotationally. So if Megan's spinning one way, she's going to connect rotationally, and if she spins the other way, she's going to connect rotationally. You'll know this from a basic pattern, a basic inside turn, 1, 2. As I've prepped Megan, we're going to exaggerate this. She's connecting rotationally to that, which is what I use to bring her back through, right? Another one Megan said when we did another take of this video was the same thing applies when we're in closed position, right? Want to talk about that?
Yes, so no matter whether you have 2 hands or 1 hand that is on your back, you want to make sure that you're still connected away and maybe even slightly rotationally in that connection.
Cool, good way to practice this. If you have a partner, you can just connect with 2 hands and then walk slowly through your feet and make sure that you maintain that away connection, right? And then you can change that to a forward connection and maintain that forward connection. Those are good ways to practice that. Cool? So those are 1 and 2. Number 1, know your footwork. Number 2, connect. Then Megan expanded on it, and you talked about use all of your senses when you follow. What do you mean?
Yes.
Wait, can I demonstrate? Ready? Let's see how we do this. Ready? Okay, talk about using your own senses. We call that using the force, but using all of your senses.
Okay, so I say using all your senses. You may not actually use your hearing that much.
Do you sniff your way around a pattern?
I don't know. But you're definitely going to want to use your eyesight as well. You want to mainly use your touch sense for connection, but you can use your vision a little bit to kind of see where your partner is going.
So that leads you into being conscious of your partner. What do you mean by that?
What I meant by conscious of your partner, and this really probably is more for a leader, but you don't want to try things that your partner may not be able to do. So say I was dancing with an older gentleman, I would not want to just throw myself into dips or tricks. So you want to be conscious of who you're dancing with.
I like that. So if you know a lot of different styles, and I'm actually going to cover that at the end in a different way. So that's a good one. I'm going to cover that for the leaders too. Then we have do your best to follow, not lead. Describe that for us.
This is the hardest one for followers.
Once you know your footwork.
Let me rephrase. For women, I'm not sure about guys, but women like to be in charge. But from my opinion, I love to follow. Once you can get rid of all that and you're just along for the ride, it's so nice. So try your best not to, how do you say this? Anticipate, but don't act.
That's I was thinking that right before you said it. So I heard this great quote, shout out to Damon D'Amico, because I stepped into one of his group classes, and he said, followers, you've always been told don't anticipate, right? Meaning, don't go too early. If I start to lead Megan, she doesn't jump the gun and go too early, right? He says, I want you to anticipate every step you take, just don't act too fast, right? I'll say it again. Anticipate every step you take. You know your footwork, just don't act too fast. Megan's following a whip. She uses her senses. She knows it's a whip. All the more reason that she doesn't have to go fast. I used to use the analogy, how long does it take you to drive to work in the morning? People say 13 minutes. I go, do you ever leave like 45 minutes early, unless you're Megan and you're that early? No, you know how long it's gonna take you, so don't anticipate every step, just don't act too fast. So that's do your best to follow, not lead. I added a couple of things. Move your body, right? So what do I mean by move your body? Let's talk about connection, the sugar push, right? I find followers will get stuck in just the connect part. I'm stuck connecting. Oh, it's a lot of work, and then I gotta push you back away. So what I mean by move your own body is once you know it's a sugar push and you know the job is to connect forward, move your body and get there, right? Move your body and get there. Once you know it's a whip, you're gonna move to the end of a connection and then move to the end of another connection. So that's maybe a higher level thing, which I think is why you're watching this video.
Yeah, you're gonna switch back and forth between, particularly on a sugar push, but between away connection and towards connection. Try to do it as fast as possible.
Yep.
Meaning, don't make them move you from connection to connection. Once you're set in a direction, you're going that direction until told to go a different direction by their lead.
Practically, the sugar push is one, right? And when you get to higher level dancing, which is what we all want to do, the whip is the other. You go to the end of that before I send you back. So if you do beginner class, we're like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and you're like, hey, that's it.
It is just like that.
And we're stoked at that point. But if you move your own body through the connections, you get some more dynamic, right? Because Megan's thinking about being connected on this side and this side and moving her body in between. 2 other tips for the followers. Improve your spins, right? If spins are a struggle, spend some time improving your spins so that I don't have to worry about you and I can do my cool kid moves because I don't have to worry about your spins, right? We'll talk about the leaders not leading stuff you can't follow. But Megan, talk real quickly about things you can do to improve your spins.
Followers, when you first learn spins, you have a tendency to go too big. So it's really hard to stay balanced when everything is so big.
If you're turning and traveling, it's called
falling. Just look at figure skaters. They travel and try to land on a knife, you know. All right, so when you're spinning, try to make it as small as possible. 1, 2, you're gonna pull your feet together, take a small step down the line, and then finish your turn, triple step.
Boom, so that includes your spins. The last thing that I added was kind of going off on what Megan said, know your partner. As you get better as a follower, you want to be able to take some chances. And I'm just going to give you an easy way to take chances. I don't mean take chances and dive into dips. I mean, if you do a right side pass and the only thing you ever do is anchor behind, it's a little bit boring for you, for me, for everybody. But
there is nothing wrong with boring.
I'm going to leave you with an option to take some chances with your anchor step. 3 different places you can go. You can go sideways in together, you can go forwards in together, or you can hook back and go together. And what that does is, now I lead a right side pass, I'm connected to Megan, and I feel her body moving. Right now we're at a higher level of where we're going. I can feel her doing that, so it sort of leads into what I want to do next. I don't know what Megan's gonna do here, right? She gave me she took a little chance with an anchor and she kind of swept around. It made me want to lead her out. So at a higher level, and we kind of put these in order. Let's go over them again. Know your footwork, connect, use all of your senses, maybe not sniff your way around, but use your eyesight and your touch. Be conscious of your partner, right? Know who you're dancing with so you can make the appropriate things, especially when you're doing your styling. Do your best to follow and not lead, not just plow through patterns. Move your own body between them and those connections. Improve your spins. Take some styling and share this video with how to be a better leader with your leaders, and then you guys will be rock stars on the dance floor. And if you haven't yet visited our website, do it. westcoastswingonline.com. I'll put the link here, enter your email address in the first page. I'll give you a bunch of free videos, helpful tips. You'll be part of our Move of the Week Club. 20,000 people get an email from us every Tuesday. It's awesome. We can email back and forth. We'll see you guys on the dance floor.